A-Rod, Machine Gun Kelly, Harry Styles, Tyler the Creator, and Antonio Centeno. What do those 5 guys have in common? The answer? All of us have invested money into men's makeup companies. Seriously, I haven't talked about it much, but I'm an angel investor in Strix, one of the lead companies in the new category that is men's makeup. Now, personally, do I use their concealer tool? Do I use their tinted moisturizer? The answer is no. In fact, personally, I find it difficult to imagine a situation in which I would use makeup. That being said, a smart investor invests in trends, not necessarily his own myopic views. And the reality is the future of the menswear market. Guys under the age of 20 don't have the same hangups that us guys in our 40s and 50s do with makeup. Seriously, I consulted with my then 15-year-old son about his opinions on makeup and his friends, and honestly, they didn't have any hangups. In fact, with TikTok, Instagram, he was like, yeah, I don't see an issue with it. The fact is, over the last decade, I received a lot of questions about this. Initially, my stance was against. Now it's for it because I just simply look at all these social media platforms. I look at the way people are presenting themselves online, even in a Zoom call. If you've got a big pimple on your face and you want to conceal it without having to hide your face, a concealer is a great option. So my first style prediction for 2022 is that men's makeup is going to go mainstream. Now, predicting the future is a fool's errand. That being said, it's fun. And guys, if you disagree, agree with me on any of the points I make in today's video, I want to hear from you down below in the comments. I want to hear your predictions of the future. My next prediction, we're going to see mainstream menswear companies sell physical clothing with ties to the metaverse. What I mean by this is some innovative suit company, shoe company is going to sell you a physical item, and tied with that, if you're wearing augmented glasses, you're going to be able to see something else. Or maybe even online, it's going to be an additional bonus skin that's going to be limited in availability. So if you're a gamer, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to skins. But for the rest of us, skins are basically a look that you can have in a particular game, in a particular universe. And as we see augmented reality start to become a bit closer, you're going to have these limited edition runs. And I really think that they're going to be able to tie it to physical wear. So yes, you get the physical piece of clothing, but you also get this bonus, which may not be super valuable to you, but you could actually eventually maybe resell it on a different marketplace for a higher price than you bought the physical item for. And this could also be big with accessories. I mean, we already know that Facebook is working with Oakley to get their glasses out. Again, they're going to have augmented reality with them. But imagine if you're looking through those glasses and you see a guy wearing a pocket square, and that pocket square has fireworks shooting out of it or something like that. Basically, this is something that you can only see in the augmented reality. And a lot of you guys are thinking, well, why does that matter? It's not in the real world. Well, it's a connection. It's like if you wear a really nice watch, all of a sudden you see the other people wearing those watches and you can just connect. They're your type of people. And tribes are going to form up, I think, around people being able to have these limited edition things. They're going to allow them to get into clubs because they've got those particular pieces. All right, so that last one's a little bit out there. This next one, pretty simple. And that is men are going to start wearing suits more for fun. Seriously, we had the tracksuit and that's, had its day. I mean, if you want to look like a Russian mobster, go for it. But let's really talk about classic suit. We're talking trousers, jacket made from wool with a bit of structure to them. And I think that men are going to wear these, but they're going to wear them in more casual situations. Because let's say you did start wearing tracksuits, but you want to dress it up a bit. Or you're like, you know what? I want to look good, but I still want to be able to wear my t-shirt. I want to be able to match it with sneakers. All of a sudden, you don't have to be a rock star. You don't have to be the CEO of an internet startup to actually pull this look off. And all of a sudden, you're going to have the confidence. You're going to feel good. They're going to introduce a number of, we talked about this, performance fibers. That's another prediction. We're going to see performance fabrics, and this is something we've just seen the trend over the last 30 years, become breathable, more comfortable. And this is something we're going to see in suiting, and suits are going to have more stretch to them. They're just going to be incredibly comfortable, and you're going to look good. And speaking of athletic leisure, performance clothing, we are going to see more men dip into this and actually start mixing it with traditional menswear. Performance pants. I pick up mine at Lululemon and absolutely love them. When I'm traveling, I think the look works. Here's what I'm saying, guys, is that comfort is going to become king. That being said, style is going to be right up with there. 10 years ago, we saw tons of companies moving towards this, but the styles sucked. Nowadays, it's getting pretty good. I'm really impressed. Again, with Ministry of Supply, a lot of these companies come out with clothing that looks really good, has everything we're going for in performance. And what's going to be really great is when the stylistic companies, Suit Supply and other ones, they get more into the athletic leisure, those type of performance pants, and they bring the style to in the actual looks. And that's what's really getting great, is we're seeing the style mix in with the function. And speaking of suit supply, let's talk about the future of made to measure. I think this is going to become a critical component in every company's business model. So last year I did a promotion with Suit Supply, and that was what they wanted me to promote. The fact that, hey, they just weren't off the rack suits anymore. These guys had tons of options when it comes to custom clothing and made to measure. Now, there were companies that existed like Indochino that's all that they do. And I've always loved the fact that you can go in and get something custom made. And to me, this is the highest level of luxury. But this was something that we only saw a few companies specializing in, because getting measurements, getting the fittings, all this took a while. Well, here's the thing, is that nowadays, I think this is going to become every menswear company that's worth its salt is going to have something where the customer can customize not only the fit, but the style and all those different fabric options. So we're going to see this, in my opinion, grow across the market from, the Men's Warehouse to Suit Supply to all these other menswear companies where you can walk in, you're going to have more options. This is great for you when it comes made to measure. My next prediction for 2022, this is going to be the year that men discover the power of fragrance. We're talking the science of scent, how to use scent triggers to feel more confident. Guys, that's what I developed over at Mission Fragrances. Honor, courage, commitment. The core values that I think every man should strive to have in his life, and that's what I developed these fragrances for. These are scent triggers that are going to help you feel more confident, more competent, just simply better about yourself. We have a whole course that teaches you how to condition yourself to these smells so that when you smell them, you feel more honorable. You feel more committed. You feel more courageous. So when you're in that situation in which you got to give a presentation to your boss's boss, you got that Zoom call that you cannot mess up. You want to commit to losing weight, and you want a fragrance that you can put on right before you go to the gym. So when you smell this, it reminds you of what you're going after, why you're trying to get into the best shape of your life this year. That's what we've done over at Mission Fragrances. If you're at all interested, I'm putting a link down in the description of today's video. Guys, this is my passion project, and we've had hundreds of men already grab their sets. Limited availability. It's something that we're doing launches, so there's going to be an email sign up. Just put in your email. I will notify you when we launch this again. And the reason I do that, because we run people through a course. We actually give them amazing customer service, and I can only do that in small batches. So guys, if you're at all interested in the Mission Fragrance Scent and Scent Triggers, check out what we're doing down below. Again, it'll send you over to missionfragrances.com, where you can sign up for our early bird list. My next bold prediction for 2022, I think that men are going to take pride in repairing their high quality clothing, whether it be a shirt and them being able to put a button on and actually be able to, use an opposing thread, a contrasting thread that makes it stand out, whether it's going to be a pair of shoes that, yes, they just took to a cobbler, but they were smart enough to buy something that had a Goodyear welt or a Blake stitch that could be rebuilt. The idea here is that men are going to start to take pride in not wearing disposable clothing that you can only wear once, clothing that falls apart. They're going to take pride in having that jacket. Yes, it's got a small hole or rip in it. They take it to a seamstress, or they actually learn to do minor tailoring themselves so that they can adjust their own shirts, adjust their own cuffs, make these small repairs, and be able to share this with others and be proud about their own ability to be independent of others, to be able to have clothing that looks good on them, and for them to have the skill set to be able to get this done. Now let's talk color. So every year they say there's a dominant color. I think in general, men are going to become more comfortable with color. The coolest thing that I've seen over the last decade is all of these young men who were into style at an early age built up their confidence levels, and now these guys are in their 30s, some of them in their 40s, and guess what? They didn't lose those skills. In fact, they're able to bring this to a more mature style. So we're going to see, yes, those casual suits mixed with really bright shirts, no necktie, just having fun with the thing, and people that are just confident in putting outfits together. Yes, they're maybe going to thrift stores because they got a tight budget, but again, they understand how to do basic sewing. They're going to get adjusted to fit their body, and they're going to put things together which many people will think clash, but they're going to wear it with such confidence and bravado that they are going to be able to pull it off. Next up, let's talk about vests. If I have to choose one item I think is going to double in sales this year, I would go with vests. They're just classic. They're incredibly versatile, especially if you go with a lighter weight one. They can take a simple outfit and just make it look so much better. Yes, instead of just wearing that dress shirt with those, khaki pants, throw in a vest there, maybe go with some dark gray trousers. All of a sudden, it brings the outfit together. Yes, it's not the same level as a sports jacket or a suit, but it looks so much better than just that shirt and jeans look. And speaking of the sports jacket, I think that sports jacket sales are going to stay strong, if not increase, if you include sweater jackets. Unstructured jackets. Got these guys, again, maturing, and they've liked dressing well, but they're in their 30s now, and they're getting a little bit older. They start to bring back the sports jacket, but they do not want that big structured shoulder. What they want is something soft. They like sweaters, so they'll bring in those, like a lot of stretch on this, performance sports jackets as well. They want that lapel. They're going to go, though, with a medium lapel, not skinny, not overly wide. They want something classic they can get their miles out of. I think they're going to stick with very classic colors. Grays are just simply going to work because it's a non-color. It works with pretty much any color. That being said, they're not going to be afraid to bring in something with a bit of color, maybe with their, I go for a bright orange or a burnt orange. They were a Texas fan. Point being, is these guys are going to have fun with their clothing, but sports jackets are not going anywhere. Now, what about the loose clothing trend? I think it's going to rein in a bit. It's not going to go as bad as we thought it was, so that's a great trend for 2022. Clothing, just get it a bit more fitted, not tight, just simply working for your body type. Necktie sales, I see staying steady, if not dropping off a bit. That being said, the necktie is not going to die. This is just cyclical. Eventually, it'll come back with a vengeance, but other accessories are going to increase. We're talking things that just simply set an outfit apart, but allow a guy to dress relatively casual. So we're going to see rings. We're going to see cufflinks. We're going to see necklaces, hats, sunglasses. These are areas that men are going to realize, you know what? I need to have some more options here. This is a great way to accessorize an outfit, to really just simply look good with, not having to do a whole much and just simply have a few options when it comes to those accessories. And speaking of accessories, I just remembered I didn't have actually my Oura ring on. So this is an accessory I've absolutely loved. And I do think that smart accessories, smart clothing is going to be a huge trend in 2022. So with this ring right here, it measures my temperature. It measures my heart rate, how I sleep. And I love that I don't even think about this thing yet. It's gathering that information. I mean, Ministry of Supply has a jacket out there that basically has heaters within it, and it does a really good job of regulating your temperature and heating up only when you need it. These types of innovations in clothing, I think, are amazing. And we're going to see more and more of them slip into clothing as the technology develops. Point being is, they're going to be able to detect very quickly your health conditions. Hey, you're at risk of having a heart attack, or you need to go see a doctor because there's something going on with your breathing. Your temperature's off. Now, some of you guys, you don't want to be any part of that because I get the nanny state. You don't want your privacy. And I think that there is always going to be a need for just simply clothing that does the basic job. That being said, a lot of people, they want to be able to track this stuff. They realize, hey, if I'm tracking this, I can improve it. Point being is I see this as a trend that's going to continue as more and more people want this in their clothing. And a trend that I did not mention that I think will continue in 2022 is Antonio will wear blue shirts. What am I talking about? Found out why I've worn blue shirts in like over 1,000 videos in this video right here, where I explain my logic, my thinking for pretty much, over the last decade, wearing very similar shirts. What's the mystery? Why did I do it? Find out, guys. This video, boom, right here. It's good. Go check it out. See you guys later.